What are some scams everybody should be made aware of? If they say it's not a pyramid scheme, it is. If you have to pay to work there, you are a customer, not an employee. Honor Society org. I got an email from them, and it seemed legit since they had my name and school, but they want $50 to join, and according to them I was being invited because academic achievements. Bulls, I did bad that semester. Joke's on them, I'm a failure. We can't pay much right now, but if this project goes well, there'll be lots more work down the road. I've been in the freelance-ish design business for 14 years, and never has more work down the road panned out when the client uses it as a hook to get an upfront discount. Stick to clients who can pay. Imagine if you went into a Subway and instead of them offering you a 10th sandwich free after paying for 9, you said, how about I pay you half price for the first sandwich, and then if I like it, I'll probably buy more sandwiches at full price down the road. A friend of mine just told me his daughter met someone at work and scored a $140K year job as some project manager. She's currently a part-time cashier. Turns out it's for a new social media startup, and she won't get paid until after her first year of work. I tried to give some caution without sounding too cynical, but they were pretty excited. The fake kidnapping ransom scam that preys on the elderly. Someone called my in-laws to be early in the morning one day saying they'd kidnapped their son and his wife. We aren't even married, in Mexico, and we wouldn't be released unless they wired over a crazy amount of money. They heard screaming in the background, a man shouting, "Dad, help me, help me." They looked on our Facebook page and saw that he'd checked us in at a Latin restaurant in Thailand where they knew we were, but thought, maybe they went to Mexico, so flipped out and were about to pay before his eldest brother called me in the middle of our Thailand night to prove to them that we were alive. People should ask for answers to personal questions, attempt to contact the supposedly kidnapped, etc. before falling for these pricks' BS. I have a Q&A that my grandmother uses on anyone maliciously trying to scam her. I typed it up and left it by the phone. If they can't answer or don't, she hangs up. Usually when someone who contacts your house claiming to be someone from a government agency or Microsoft, it is just a lead up to a scam. Just always ask for some kind of identification, and sometimes googling the phone number can lead you somewhere. Your bank will never send people to your house to take your cards from you. I was visiting at my grandma's house when she got scammed. Got a call at about 9 PM from somebody claiming to be the police. "Yes, your grandson was in a car accident while driving drunk. He's here at the police station, and this is his phone call. I'll put him on." Her grandson gets on the phone. "Grandma, sorry my voice sounds funny. I broke my nose in the wreck. I'm in jail. Can you pay my bail?" Grandma was hysterical. She didn't have the money to pay the bail they were asking for, and she was calling relatives left and right trying to pull some money together to get him out. In a last-ditch effort, she called her grandson's cell phone, and he picked up, perfectly fine, wondering why she was calling so late. Needless to say, we called the police, but they couldn't trace the number. Disgusting how they took advantage of an old lady like that. I thought she would have a heart attack. If you get a call in the US from jail, you will first hear a pre-recorded bit about accepting a collect call from someone at insert jail name here. If you don't, it's probably BS. If you ever get stopped by a deaf person trying to sell you a pin for $3, 99% of the time they're not deaf. One time I was in a Starbucks and a deaf guy walked around once passing out leaflets on how to sign basic letters, and then walked around again asking for money by tapping on you and putting out his hand. When he got to the girl right before me, she started to sign to him fluently and he just gave her a thumbs up and walked out. I work in a bank. Some scammers will test whether your card works by making a £5 donation to a charity, which can be done on AdMs. If this works, they will slowly start to empty your account by buying vouchers from supermarkets. If you see a charitable donation you didn't make, investigate it immediately. Honestly, if you're paying attention to bank statements monthly, then you should investigate any charges that you don't remember doing. Door-to-door magazine sales. While some of these are legitimate, I got scammed out of $40-50 about 7 years ago. A kid came up to my door. I saw there was a white van down the end of the street. and about 10-15 kids got out of it. This one particular kid stopped at my door, gave me a pitch about how they were selling magazines to build a fund that would send them all to college. I thought to myself, why not help this kid out? This kid was about 16-17, had an ID badge that said he worked for some charity or something, and he could offer me budget subscriptions, more than half off the price if I were to subscribe through the actual magazine's website. I signed up for Maxim, Muscle Mustangs and Fast Fords, and 2 or 3 others. Never received those magazines. Talked to my neighbor down the street that signed up for one magazine, and he never received his either. They usually claim to being formerly addicted to crack but are actually laid off software engineers. Watch your grannies. One with dementia here almost got taken for thousands from scammers in Jamaica. She was on her way to the mailbox but looked so sneaky the nursing home staff alerted her daughter, who put stop payments on everything, including checks Granny had mailed the day before. If you're a male Westerner and you travel to Eastern Europe, a super common scam is that 2 very attractive girls introduce themselves and hang out with you for the day. It's a long con. They have some story about why they want someone to hang with. They'll have a meal with you, go to some tourist attractions, seriously spending a day. One of them will seem to have a personal interest in you. Then they suggest a place for drinks or food. The girls order for you. Everything is fine. Then the bill comes and it's something insane like $1,500. If you can't pay it, bouncers appear and walk you to the nearest bank to help you withdraw as much as you can. It's become a common enough scam that just about every guidebook and hostel check-in will warn you. Hey, do you have the time? Take out your phone to check. Mugged. A U-Haul reservation isn't reserving an actual vehicle for you. It's just putting you in their system as someone who wants a vehicle. And their reservation guarantee is a scam, since there's always a truck 2 states over you could use, but of course you'd have to pay for the extra mileage. See, you know how to take the reservation, you just don't know how to hold the reservation. Working in banking, I see this kind of crap a lot. If someone sends you a check that is more than it should be and you have to send a portion back to them, stop. This is a scam. No legitimate business or individual does business this way. That check will bounce and you will be caught holding the bag. Somebody got a hold of our company name and account number to pull this scam on people. I had to field so many calls telling people not to do it. I had one lady accuse me of trying to scam her after, and I finally got pissy and said, I want you to explain to me exactly how I plan to scam you by asking you not to send money to a stranger. The kids that come to your door selling magazine subscriptions are not trying to get money for college. Most of the time the magazine subscription is bulls. The kid is being taken advantage of by some butthole and it's near slavery conditions. Don't support these buttholes. Do not cash someone's check for them at the ATM. No matter how distressed they may seem, it will just bounce. The Florida government puts out public service announcements that says this, paraphrased, if you want anyone to leave your house, even employees of a business, tell them. If they won't, call the cops and cops will come out and make them leave. In other words, don't let anyone intimidate you, even if they are for real. I've heard of this one but haven't ever seen it. You're driving, say in the right lane, and a crappy looking car gets in front of you while another crappy looking car sits in your blind spot on your left side. The car in front slows down little by little until you're annoyed and possibly tailgating them, setting the trap. He then slams on the brakes and stops short, giving you either the choice of rear-ending him or swerving into his buddy. Either way you hit a junker of a car and he asks for cash to not report it to the insurance. Ways to avoid: don't tailgate. Pretty simple. Follow at a safe distance. If you do rear-end swerve into the car, just report it to the insurance. A lot of times these people don't have insurance, and if they do they might not see any of the money and their rates will go up either way. You'll still have to pay and your rates will go up, but at least the scammer didn't get off free. I'm getting a dash cam. Locks of Love. They sell the hair they get for tens of millions, then only donate a few hundred wigs a year. Yes. And Locks of Love rarely donates, they charge. If you're going to give hair, use Pantene Beautiful Length, so much better, and they do not charge patients for wigs, it's all free. If you have to buy anything other than a basic set of power tools before you can start your new job, it's a scam. I'm looking at you, pyramid schemes. ACN is a huge scam. $500 to join. Only move up by getting people to join. You make all your money by bringing in suckers. You make next to nothing from selling their services. They prey on college kids that need quick money. Typical pyramid scheme. The big shots in the company pump all their money into nice cars to sell the illusion of money. A lot of them also drive obviously rented BMWs and Mercedes. They are scum. I wish I could explain more, but I'm on mobile at work. If you're at uni, keep an eye out for VEMA. Pyramid scheme that doesn't say it, aimed at students. When I was a kid, my mom and stepdad got into Amway. Overnight, all my normal toothpaste, deodorant, hair gel went away and were replaced by the Amway crappy version. For a kid that was going through puberty and was having a hard time with acne and oily skin, this was a disaster. I had tried out products for months until I found the right ones that wouldn't affect my skin. They were all thrown out as they believed the whole family needed to be on board with their great Amway adventure. At some point or another they started hitting up my friends' parents and trying to get they to buy into Amway under my mom and stepdad. It ruined several friendships for me. Kids were no longer allowed to come and hang out at my house because my mom and stepdad would harass them about if they had heard anything from my parents. Eventually, I stopped visiting my mom's house and went to live at my dad's full time. Did Amway cause that? Number. But it sure didn't help anything. It was a big wedge between my stepdad and myself for 10 plus years until they finally gave up pushing Amway on everyone or ran out of people to push it on. If you won the Canadian lottery and you've never been to Canada or played the Canadian lottery, it's not real. I've had a couple of people come into the banks I've worked in thinking they won all this money and then get pee when you give them the reality check that it's not real. If you are young male and traveling in a foreign country, 1. You are approached by foreign girls who say they want to improve their English or they want to meet to show you their art. You, single and in hormonal flush, agree. 2. You meet at bar that is suggested. You buy drinks. The girls make conversation. 15-20 minutes in, the girls leave. 3. You get a bill, except it's for 100 times what you'd expect to pay. You make to leave except there is a big guy standing at the door who won't leave until you pay. Heard so many stories from luckless frisky friends who've been on the wrong end of this scam. Not me luckily as I have a face like a bucket of smashed crabs. Happened to my buddy in Thailand. He said he just bolted and had lots of women trying to stop him on top of dudes jumping up and punching him in the head. He got the frick out and into a cab and didn't look back. Don't buy stereo systems from guys in vans. Don't buy anything from guys in vans, unless it's your drug dealer. The Polish or hot dog with a 20-ounce drink and one free refill at Costco food court for $1.50. Costco is getting scammed on this deal. When you go to other countries on vacation and you get on a tour, there are definitely places, especially in China, where you are intended to stop and have a look around. But at many of those places they won't let you leave until you buy something. This is how these guys make money. Man, you could make an entire thread on China scams. I've been to China 3 times and dodging the scams was a ton of fun. I bought my first house last year and I had at least one scam per week coming in the mail for the first couple months. All of them looked very official and as a first time home buyer they kinda freaked me out. Luckily, my Google foo is strong and I was able to do proper research to prevent me being screwed. In the US, if the mail piece says pre-sorted standard or some variation, pre-sort STD being common, it is junk mail. Standard mail is bulk mail and cannot be used for bills, invoices, contracts, etc. So if you see that in the corner, you know it's not anything important. You've been visited by the good sleep doggo. Like within the next 4 seconds and you will be blessed with cozy and restful sleeps. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check out another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.